Today, I'd like to address a reality that many older adults eventually face, discovering that your grown children no longer need you the way they once did. This realization can feel unsettling, especially when you remember all those years they depended on you for advice, comfort, and practical help. Society has transformed drastically in the past few decades, changing how adult children interact with their parents. While this shift isn't meant to be cruel, it may still leave you feeling sidelined. Below are several reasons why this happens and how you might come to terms with it. First, the internet has replaced much of the wisdom once passed on by parents. Years ago, if an adult child needed to fix a leaky faucet, they'd phone you for guidance. Today, they watch online tutorials or consult apps for almost any problem. Cooking tips, car maintenance, even relationship advice. Since expert instruction is available 24/7, reaching out to parents becomes optional rather than automatic. Second, the rise of professional helpers has diminished parents' role as primary problem solvers. If your grown child experiences emotional distress or marital conflict, they're more likely to seek a trained counselor or therapist. If they're struggling with finances, they might contact an advisor or search for online tools. While you still have life experience to offer, professionals are seen as more specialized and less biased. Third, the frenetic pace of adult life can crowd you out. Between demanding jobs, raising their own children, and maintaining personal relationships, many people have little downtime. By the end of a hectic day, calling mom or dad for a long chat might not feel urgent. Love may still exist, but it competes with countless other obligations that drain mental and emotional energy. Fourth, digital communication creates a false sense of connection. Your children might text you briefly or like your social media posts, thinking they've kept in touch. However, these snippets don't compare to the in-depth conversations you once had. The convenience of technology often replaces meaningful interaction, leaving you feeling an emotional void, even if messages arrive every now and then. Fifth, a cultural emphasis on independence leads many adults to solve problems on their own. In past generations, needing parental help was common, even encouraged. Today, self-reliance is prized, and people feel accomplished by tackling challenges without turning to family. This can be a mark of success for them, but it also means you're called upon less frequently. Sixth, generational gaps widen as lifestyles change. You might prefer certain traditions or habits, while your children align with newer trends. Differences in how you view money, family roles, or entertainment can cause mild tension. Over time, they may share fewer interests with you, discussing those topics instead with friends or online communities. As a result, there's less day-to-day bonding. Seventh, boundaries around child rearing and household decisions can keep grandparents at arm's length. Your children want to establish their own parenting methods, which might conflict with yours. They might appreciate occasional babysitting, but prefer handling major choices themselves, so they don't always turn to you for input. This makes sense for them, but can leave you feeling unnecessary. Eighth, longer life expectancies may reduce your children's sense of urgency to visit or call. Decades ago, they knew they had only a short window before a parent might pass away. Now, with people living into their 80s or 90s, adult children often assume there'll be plenty of time later to reconnect. Unfortunately, later can creep up quickly and missed opportunities accumulate. Ninth, improved financial stability in modern families means adult children are less reliant on parental money. If they have decent jobs, credit cards, or dual incomes, they no longer depend on you for large loans or monthly support. This diminishes contact that might otherwise revolve around budgeting advice or financial safety nets, leaving you outside many day-to-day decisions. Finally, social norms have changed regarding elder care. Rather than assuming parents will move in with them, many adult children expect professionals, nurses, senior communities, or home care aides to handle most of the caregiving. Though they might check in to ensure you're comfortable, they don't necessarily feel obligated to handle every detail themselves, which further reduces that sense of needing you. All these factors contribute to why you may feel unneeded when you reach old age. It isn't that your children have stopped loving you. Instead, they live in a world where expert advice is always at hand. Professional services handle specialized issues, and their own lives are so packed that prolonged conversation becomes a rarity. This new dynamic can feel lonely, but it's also a sign you raise resourceful, capable adults. So how can you cope? Start by acknowledging that the nature of parental involvement evolves over time. Your children's independence can be seen as a testament to your success in guiding them. Rather than lamenting the loss of an older era, focus on personal fulfillment. Pursue hobbies, join community activities, or volunteer in ways that give you purpose. When you do talk to your children, try to meet them halfway. Short phone calls, texts, or visits that fit into their busy schedules might be more realistic than lengthy gatherings. You can also find new ways to contribute without overstepping. Offer emotional support, share family history, or become a loving grandparent who respects their boundaries. Show genuine interest in their world. Ask how you can help in small but meaningful ways. When they do seek your advice, listen without judgment. This can build trust and demonstrate you're a positive presence, not just someone reminiscing about the past. Above all, let go of guilt, anger, or disappointment if they don't constantly need your input. Cherish the moments you do have together. Even if their visits feel brief or their calls sporadic, your role as a parent remains important, just in a subtler form. You provided a foundation that now allows them to live independently. In that sense, your children's self-reliance is the very thing you spent decades working to achieve.